Yeah, the next concept we are going to continue with is synchronization. So, when a number of threads are trying to access a common resource, let us say there is one typical logic, like one program is trying to execute that particular function. By the time it comes to the end of the function, one more thread is trying to access the same function. Okay, and by the time that second is completed, third may come. Again, first may resume that. So, all the threads will be getting a partial output and no threads will get the correct output. So to avoid that, what we need to do is we should identify the typical logic which is affected by the concurrent threads. We have to synchronize that. And we cannot synchronize the whole class or the whole application, because if you synchronize the entire application unnecessarily, it will make your application slow. So you should identify the particular part of the application and make it synchronized. How do we synchronize? We have to do the synchronization only in two ways in Java. One is synchronized method, synchronized block, right? That we are going to look into our example. So here you can see there is one, okay, caller is a thread class here. In a caller class, we have one message and we are calling one uh, thread object, and we are just calling it. What object we are calling is a target object. So target is nothing but call me. There is another class which is not a thread, but this is called by a thread. Always a thread can call the other class, right? So now a thread is calling this class. So what is this exactly logic is, there is a function called call, and call is a function which is beginning with this square bracket, display some message, and then it has to close, and in between it is going asleep. By the time it is going to a sleep, okay, other thread may get a chance. Why? Because we are starting multiple threads, not a single thread. One thread we are starting with hello, second thread starting with synchronize, third thread we are starting with the world. When we start all the three threads at a time, three will get invoked to your target class and three will enter into this method. What happened? We will not get the exact output. So first is started, before first is closed, the second gets started, and before second is started, third gets started, and finally first is closed, second is closed, third is closed. Means we are missing the synchronization between that execution of your call function. Then how do we achieve it? How can we make first task, first thread come here, perform your task, go back, then the lock should be released. Then allow the second thread, okay, by the time wait is given to these commands, these two threads. So then second comes, it performs execution, by the time again lock is acquired so that others cannot access. Then it finish its logic, then only the third thread get a chance. So to perform that, we have to make our method as a synchronized. Either we have to make the entire method as a synchronized. You are making entire method as a synchronized. Now you run the application, you can observe the result. Now first thread is started, it is completed. Second is started, it is completed. Third is started, it is completed. The order can be anything. Again, order matters here. Order we cannot predict. Hello may be first, world may be first, synchronize may be first. But whichever is started, it should complete its logic. It has to make other threads to wait, and then once it is completed, it give a chance to the next thread. Clear, guys? That is called as synchronization, and this synchronization can be done method level and block level. What is block level? Let us say the entire method need not synchronize. In that case, I can make my block, identify the block for which we need a synchronization, and then we will say that synchronized of this, and then we close the block. Now the thing is, only this piece of code gets synchronized. Now the same effect we can achieve with the synchronization. So always when multiple concurrent threads are trying to access a common resource, this proper syncing is needed. Otherwise we cannot, all the three threads, okay, will be overlapping and the common data get affected. Here we are not performing any kind of updates or deletes for the data, just we are printing a message. But you just imagine if you are working with a file, you're going to update the content, you're working with a resource, you're going to update, you're going to read, you're going to perform concurrent operations, read write operations. It should not lead to any wrong results to any of the thread. For that we need to give a synchronization. So proper locking and unlocking mechanism can be maintained by the JVM. That is what is explained in this. So when multiple threads are trying to access a common resource, when all the threads are started, okay, we have to control them properly with the synchronization. So how do we achieve this synchronization is by means of your synchronized, okay, synchronization block or synchronized method. The keyword you need to use synchronized, and that has to be applied to a method which is getting affected by the concurrent threads, and that synchronization keyword is going to monitor your object. How it is going to monitor is by acquiring a lock and at proper time to unlock the unlock that object. So it can be achieved by using synchronized method. Synchronized method means method level synchronization, giving a keyword before the function. And next is like a synchronized block, means we can write a block here synchronized of this begin and end. This is called block level synchronization and method level synchronization. Whenever it is synchronized, like the thread scheduler, every time it will make the other threads to block for some time and let it complete, then only it will release the lock to the next consequent thread. That is how synchronization will manage your concurrent logics, and it is going to avoid your race conditions. Racing is nothing but at a time trying multiple threads to access a resource. One simple example you can try to practice is one thread is trying to increment your value, the other thread is trying to decrement the value. So either the total increment has to be done or else decrement has to be done. So if you synchronize your object only, it can be controlled between these concurrent threads. Or else producer consumer problem. Producer is producing some object, consumer is going to consume it. Either it has to finish the task, then only it can access, right? Before it finish the task, if it try to access, so you are not going to get the expected results. That is the reason synchronization concept is very important, and go through this concept. You can expect some MCQ questions on this. And synchronization is also possible with the only method level and block level. And there is another feature called as when multiple threads are trying to access a common resource. Before the thread is performing some logic on this, other thread is trying to expect the result from here. Producer consumer problem again. So if both are at a time getting into waiting state, so that mutually both are interdependent, then they will enter into a deadlock situation. So to avoid the deadlocks also we have to use synchronized. Proper synchronization is needed. That is called as deadlock. Deadlock has to be always manageable with the synchronization. Inter-thread communication is always one thread will produce some data, other thread will consume the data. Producer-consumer problem is called as inter-thread communication. You just go through this PDF and what all are the methods are available, wait, notify all. Usually we will not be using these commands because JVM will give this wait, notify all inside your synchronized methods and synchronized blocks. At the beginning wait is given, at the end notify all is given. And that's all about basic multi-threading concept. And we also have a concept called as concurrency framework that we will see in the next session. Maybe tomorrow we will discuss that. And remember that multi-threading we are not going to get any kind of coding problems, just we will have only MCQs questions on this. So it is always important to read this PDF and just practice this one or two programs. So that much is enough for us, and you concentrate more on the other topics like exception handling, collections, okay, for coding based application, coding based test program. And I'll be sharing this synchronized demo. Any questions, let me know.